with the team they beat, let's talk about them because statement number 3, Donnie, Carlton was the most disappointing team out of anyone this season.
Oh man, that is a wide swath there.
There's a few teams we could put on there. Even the finals team we could still put on there, which is the funny part.
Well, if you roll everything that Carlton had this year, it is hard not to sneak them into that category because of the fact that
10 games into the season, being in top 4 spot,
and they were in the 8 for every round except the last one. In the 8 for every round except the last
that
round.
Sucks.
It is literally the biggest tease ever when it came to Carlton this year. But honestly, for me the most disappointing team this year was Essendon. And again, maybe I fell for the hype train last year. I'll raise my hand. I fell for it.
Oh, I'll raise my hand with you, buddy. We were both there.
I honestly saw what happened last year, and I thought it's only going to go up. They found their game style. It's aggressive, it's risky, but it'll work, and they find ways. And it imploded on itself this year, and imploded in itself in spectacular fashion. And then to add to it too, you have all the drama that is the board in the last two rounds. So Carlton, just because of the way it went, you could say, but honestly, my most disappointing team is the Essendon Bombers, because this was a team that I honestly thought I had penciled in at finals at the start of the year, because I thought they're only going to go up. There's no way they regress.
Well, they went way.
Boy, was I wrong.
Oh man. Well, if I had to put 3 teams up there, I'm definitely putting Essendon up there. I'm putting Carlton up there, and obviously I'm disappointed in GWS, but
Port Adelaide.
I
it's
can't
hard not to say Port Adelaide.
You know, Donnie, I call this a hot take though, especially because I'm going to give you a little bit of taste of our finals predictions. I don't think the Doggies make it out of the first round. They just barely, by the skin of their teeth, make it into the 8 after competing in the grand final last year. I think the Doggies have to be in the conversation for one of the most disappointing teams, especially after what's going to happen in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, you kind of the finals appearances kind of paper over cracks, and I said it on the stream. I said honestly, if you want to go with the 8 best teams in the finals, Carlton should probably be there instead of the Doggies. Like
they beat the Doggies.
100% honest, the Doggies probably don't deserve to be there. And again, Doggies fans, this is no disrespect to you. This is plain and simply form, how you've been playing, and how this season turned out.
And how horrible your defense is.
You backed in. literally, this was like you backing up and you fell in a hole, and it happened to be the playoffs. That's literally the way it went. Do you deserve to be there? Probably not. Your overall structure, you were not a consistent team. You were outside of the 8 for a good chunk of that second half of the season. You backed in. Again, no disrespect. You're there. Who knows? Of the 8 teams that are there, you're the one team that everybody is doubting. You're the one team that everybody's going, well, if Carlton didn't stuff themselves, Carlton would be there, not you. So, it's hard. You make a good case for that. You can say a good case for Port Adelaide too, because again, a team that's made 2 consecutive preliminary finals doesn't make finals. Again,
I guess I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
And that's what I've heard some people say is because of the injuries. But again,
they need to be in the conversation.
Every team has injuries, and there's teams that had more injuries. Carlton had more injuries, yet they were in the top 8 most of the year. So, yeah. So
put them in the conversation. I don't think I'm gonna crown them as that. It definitely Essendon though.
And it's massively an opinion too, because it's all on what is your description of a disappointment? Because there's some people could even say that a team like Brisbane is a disappointment because they finished 5th instead of in the top 4. So what is your definition of disappointment is really kind of gonna structure how you did it. Like there's some people I know would probably say the West Coast Eagles was a disappointment. Oh, I remember at the start of the season. I remember at the start of the season, didn't I say, Ross? I said, I'm worried this team is going to be down near the bottom because I didn't like the way they entered the season. And I remember in my discussion with Jude Bolton, I said the same thing, and he kind of looked at me and went, You're right. Because I said I didn't like the way that their season started. They had all those COVID issues. Darling had all the drama with the vaccination thing, which eventually found out. And just they had so many injuries, and there was no cohesion going into that camp to start the training camp to start the season. And it Heidelberg, it bombed out early in the season, and it never, ever, ever had a chance. And so,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a crazy statement for you guys. Donnie gets it right once again. I've been saying this. I have to say it pretty much every round because he knows his footy, and that's why I'm just honored to be a voice that guides him through this. I'm here for structure, and if you want real analysis, you talk to Donnie because he's right way more often than I am. But one thing, at least we were both wrong on Essendon.
I do get things wrong. I had Port Adelaide and Essendon in the finals this year, so stuff me on that one.
You want still a lot of people that did that. I will just say that I was riding the Sydney train. I think actually it was between Geelong and Sydney for me being the flag winner for this year at the beginning of the season. So
I think you're right. So
I think that we're still going to get close. You know, I could get everything wrong, Donnie, literally every detail about the season wrong. As long as I get the grand final winner right, who cares? Because that's all that matters, apparently. But I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, especially next week, especially when we get the opinion. I definitely almost just said it, but we'll save that the reveal for later in the show. But the opinion of this person that we're going to have, because his opinion really, really matters for some of these finals teams because he's going to know what he's talking about because he has a bit of a tie to them. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just my hints are going to be getting closer and closer until we reveal who it is. But that's going to do it for our overreactions for round 23 of the AFL season. Do you think Carlton is the most disappointing team this year? Did Coach Hinckley save his job by winning the showdown? And did Richmond make the biggest statement of any finals team this round? The only thing I am disappointed in when it comes to one of these teams is Port Adelaide. You guys should have just sent it. Should have just sent down the prison bars. You had one chance. You biffed it. You had this chance to wear the prison bars and essentially face no repercussion, except Collingwood getting a little pissy like they typically do when anyone else wears black and white. Oh, no. They must really hate Charlie Chaplin because black and white is his thing. All right. So, where was the lawsuits back then?